And hello again, everyone. I am Electric. Here with me is Mini Corey as we're about to watch this D170 star race between Heisenberger and you know him, you love him, the one and only Puncayshun. How are you doing before this race, Mini Corey?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready. We got a top and then still improving runner up against Punctation. It should be really good.
Yeah, I mean, neither of these guys, obviously, Punctation is definitely a force to be reckoned with, but Heisenberger isn't going to make it easy on him to claim this W at all. I mean, he's certainly been really drastically improving over the past few months. So, going to be exciting to see who's going to come out on top on this race. You know, anyone that faces Punctation, like someone like Cheese, you don't know the result, but a lot of people against Punkay are probably going to be in the losers column, but Heisenberger, no guarantee whatsoever on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Punk is definitely a force to be reckoned with in the case of races. I found that he's always been a very consistent player, and that ends up being going very well for him in races. So we'll see how he does today.
Right, consistency is really the name of the game, and as some others have said before me, racing has really opened up the realm of a new speedrunner to come about, and Punctation is definitely no exception to that. I mean, when you're going for PBs and especially for world record, you have to go for stuff that's just inherently risky. Nobody in the world can get consistently. And you're going to end up sacrificing a lot of runs as a result. But when you're racing, you just can't do that. And on occasion, especially, even though he's been a world record contender so many times, in races, he really plays that line of playing just risky enough to save a lot of time, but also not playing so risky that he's failing stuff constantly.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And he really is good at recognizing the strats that he can do, 90 to 100% of the time, and anything less than that, he can just shave out of races. All right, both players getting Lakitu skip, making their way into bottom battlefield. Nothing fancy yet. We'll see if either player wants to go for island hop. I'm expecting to not see it, especially in a race.
Right. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it looks like that.
it's definitely not a close enough matchup at a high enough level for me to expect an island hop from either of these guys. Island hop, correct me if I'm wrong, but it requires a first frame wall kick. So already just starting the trick requires a frame perfect trick. And
Yeah,
then,
absolutely. And it looks like Heisenberger missing bomb clip here. We'll see if he can get it the second time. It's looking good. All right, he's there.
yeah, good recovery on that, but it's kind of rare for you to see a player failing bomb clip. I wonder how that's going to impact his mentality as opposed to, like, say, failing Lakitu skip that we've actually seen benefit some players in the long run.
Yeah, we'll see. It's kind of rough to miss the first maybe potentially challenging trick of the run. Lakitu skip is generally a freebie unless something goes wildly wrong. But bomb clip, it'll get you sometimes, and you're used to like just resetting after it. But when you're in a race and you got to keep going, sometimes it can weigh on your mentality.
But meanwhile, as Heisenberger's entering the slide, Punkay almost all the way through. What's your guess? I'm going to have to say 12-7.
I'm going to go with 12-7 on this one.
Really, really good guess that I have no clue how you came up with. Heisenberger, going to go
taking a bonk.
13-5. Calling it right there. Oh, missing it
14-1.
by 0.6 in the wrong direction. Wow.
I got it again. That's crazy.
And failing to grab the star after the roll route. A rough first slide from Heisenberger. And
I do wonder if that bomb clip's getting to him,
Same here. I mean, Lakitu skip is a trick where when you fail it, you're kind of like, oh well, that was the first thing in the run. I've already messed up something. Nothing else is going to be a huge deal. But bomb clip, I think, would weigh a lot more on your mentality. And hopefully, Heisenberger in Womps doesn't show it, but we could see a pretty nasty set of falls here from him.
And we'll see. Both players going for, or not both players, sorry. Punkay going for 100, Heisenberger going for canonless here.
Yeah, and a nice full cycle
ledge grab. He's going to go for Wild Blue.
And that's really not the way you want to fail
We
canonless.
haven't seen him get a star without a mistake yet. I hope this doesn't happen 67 more times.
Right? Definitely not the way you want a race to go, especially with Punkay performing at such a high level. Very nice full cycle, not going for the pro cycle, but I certainly don't blame him in a race situation like this.
A pretty solid 100 from Punkay there. Nothing too major happening. Canonless, number 2 for Heisenberger. This looks good. All right.
And it is good. Relying on that sock folder setup, normally if you do the sock folder setup right, it should not fail you. But We've seen some weird things happen in a couple of races.
Yeah, definitely. All right, star counts are even, but Heisenberger needs to start his 100 coin. Looks like he's saving it. He's going for Owlets now.
Yeah, I certainly question the logic of saving 100 coin for last. It probably works for some players, but
Big double jump.
especially for Heisenberger at the moment, I
Yeah,
don't know how good of an idea that is.
Knock a few easy stars out of the way to maybe calm the nerves, and then go for something challenging again.
That's more than likely the strat that Heisenberger is taking, but I could see it going in the reverse direction of messing up some of these bigger stars could make the 100 coin that much worse. And this is an area where you hemorrhage a lot of time. A mistake on Owlless or Cannonless, okay, you lose a good 8 seconds, assuming you don't have the backup Cannonless. But on something like 100 coin, you can lose a lot more time depending on what exactly you make a mistake on.
It's looking solid for him so far. And a pretty solid bumps for Punkay as well. He was able to get that texture set up Cannonless just now.
Yeah, I'm sure Punkay would end up labeling that texture setup as easy. He's been known to kind of talk about harder strats as if they were just nothing. I've personally seen him say that Breezeless is free before, so...
Yeah, I did mention about Punkay sticking with those 90 to 100% strats, but there are definitely some strats that are 90 to 100% for him that are not that way for many other runners. All right, pretty solid 100 for Heisenberger. So looks like his star order here did work out.
And that's definitely good to see. You really hate to see someone have a rough start to their race and really not be able to pick it back up. But being able to get through Wumps is certainly an achievement in and of itself. And I mean, all that he really has to complain about is just that first Cannonless fail. But ultimately, I think given what could have happened, given the mentality shift for that bomb clip, he really doesn't have a whole lot to be upset about.
Yeah, he was really collect everything, it seems, and he's playing as well as he should now.
Yep, and that's really what matters, is being able to collect yourself after a mistake like that.
Okay, not quite getting up to the top of Wants. Makes it the second try. If he makes this, he does. Alright. Just a small time loss there, but still worked out a pretty solid lead for himself. He's about a whole star ahead of Heisenberger here.
And I'm already seeing a decent number of Heisenstar gets in the chat. Maybe Heisenberger having a similar fan base to Momo? Who knows there?
That's good.
And Puncayshun going in for his second slide. You know, I'm thinking he's actually going to pull a 12-6 this slide. What do you think?
12-6? Ooh, I'll give him 12-5. He's playing really well, so.
12-5.
I'll do a real guess this time,
yeah. Very, I'm not even sure what to call that. Bold, I guess?
Oh,
but
no.
12-7, yet again, the man, the consistency. Heisenberger, though, giving us a second opportunity, and I doubt he's going to be hitting a 14-1 this time around. I'm going to go ahead and say a 12-9 for him.
12-9. I'm going to go one below you again with 12-8.
Okay. Commentators got their bases covered. You know, the script gives us a range of times rather than a strict time. So anywhere between a 12-8 and 12-9.
Let's go.
12-8, you know,
I said 12-8, right? That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I made this guess right. I think it's what I made.
All right, a solid wing cap for Puncayshun.
Yeah, look at those arcs. That's really what gets me about Puncayshun's wing caps. Is
He's got some pretty nuts flying. Does not slow down. All right, Punkay making his way into Dark World. Heisenberger, interesting camera angle there, but getting all the coins that he needs. I wonder why he's doing these C rights when he collects the coins. I can't imagine it saves any lag or anything. I wonder if it's just like helps him control Mario better, or oh, missing the star. Gonna have to read this text.
Yeah, that text skip is really rough to not hit. And I think the camera angle, you hit it right on the head with controlling Mario. I mean, with Mario's controls being entirely camera dependent, you see a lot of kind of weird camera movement that is just because it makes the control step movement easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Good delay on that dive there to dodge the amp.
Very nice Dark World from Punkay. Normally, this is an area where you would see a lot of mistakes, but Punkay just making it look really easy at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if Heisen can follow suit.
Both going for a nice little shig cycle. I mean, surprisingly, going for that box rollout after the second red is not the hardest part of Zaya cycle, so you really can't blame even someone at Puncayshun's level for going for
Oh,
shig in
Heisen
the race.
going for the little safety order here. I'm a fan of this. This is those getting just those 2 coins in the opposite order there makes this segment a little bit slower, but a lot safer.
Oh yeah, especially not having to deal with the 2 long jumps there, or I think it's a long jump and then a jump and then kick, right? And the kick especially can be one that it's just on the verge of being a dive with how much
Yeah,
speed Mario
exactly.
has. And I've seen so many people lose a Dark World just to that becoming a dive. It's really rough to see. In a very clean one throw Bowser fight. Meanwhile, Punkay going in for his sky jump.
See how he does this one.
Just got to be routine for him at this point. Nice little slide. Jumping right near the top of that platform. Beautiful ground pound.
All right, yeah, and both players on English version here. The only real worry at this level with sky jump is sometimes if you do that dive at the wrong time, right after collecting the wing cap, you get kind of a wonky stuck camera state, and it makes the climbing up the hill a little difficult. But can't really do that on the US version, so don't have to worry about it.
Interesting. I didn't realize that the camera mechanics were different in that way. I thought the main real programming differences were like the sound glitch, for instance, and obviously the some stars being boxed.
Yeah, there's a lot of really minor bug fixes that you'll notice between the US and Japanese versions, just because the US version came out not even a year later, I don't think, maybe just a few months. But it was enough time the developers kind of fixed a lot of small bugs. So you'll notice there's the different sound engines. You have the different, the sound glitch is a lot harder to perform, and sounds can't really overlap each other. And then there's a few camera things, just like that wing cap one that you'll notice.
Very interesting. I mean, it's certainly, I think a lot of players are used to thinking of the Japanese version just as a different text, but definitely the N64 era shows a lot of games with a lot of differences. Like Majora's Mask, especially. The owl statue saving feature wasn't even in that game until the US release.
Yeah. It's kind of, you think like games having like patches and updates and stuff is like a modern thing, but you can see it even happens, 20 plus years ago in games like this, where the developers put out the Japanese version of the game and then they kept working on it and fixing things and then released the US version.
Yep, and even in the case of like, for instance, OOT.
Heisen missing that red coin at the beginning here. He's gonna have to get an extra one.
Yeah, that's
there
certainly
is one on
not
the way
that you
grab, but.
And looks like Punkay going for flexing off that CCM17 toxic maze route that he knows so well. Heisen not opting for the safety red. We'll see how this plays out for him. Also going for the CCM17 route. I wonder what he'll be doing as a replacement.
I don't know. We'll see what these players opt to end up doing.
I certainly am a fan of when players do CCM17 and their routing decision relies on whether they get pillarless first try. Because if you get pillarless first try, a double pillarless is obviously a lot more likely. And so you see a decent number of players that will go CCM17, and whether they do HMC early or late just depends on pillarless, whether the first one goes okay and they try for a second one, or the first one doesn't go well and they just go ahead and skip it and opt for Snowman's reds and then some other star to compensate later on.
Yeah, that's sweet. I never really thought about doing that. Seems like a really good idea for a race.
Yeah, because it gives you the opportunity, especially if you're in the lead and the one pillarless fail wouldn't cost you a whole lot of time. It certainly gives you a lot of options, which is super vital for a race. And I mean, the real understated part of doing HMC late that's really beneficial is being able to interject a kind of easy stage in the middle of Tippy. Meanwhile, Heisenburger not getting a very good rollout luck there. I'm not really sure what that was. The wall kick went well and the dive went well,
I
just
think he
not
just
able
kind
to
of
stay on the platform.
he delayed the rollout too much and wasn't able to clear the gap. Nothing too major, but it's just these small mistakes that have been adding up, and Punkay's lead is growing. So he's he's got to bank on something wild happening to Puncayshun here.
I mean, Punkay, a full Big Boo star ahead. That's a pretty significant time loss that
Yeah, it's a bit more than
the
the full Fortress star that he was ahead of at the end of Womp. So you can see the difference there.
But it's certainly nowhere near over yet. We haven't even gotten into the basement. Heisenburger, though, can't
bouncing
even
get
get a ground pound on the Big Boo. And, you know, I noticed that Heisenburger had a little bit of a weird approach to the Big Daddy Womp. And if you've watched any of my previous comms, you know about me talking about my wild theories with Mario, that the Big Boo is the Womp's ghost. I'm thinking that he came to give him just a little bit more trouble there, too. I really think that's what happened there.
It could be. Solid Mips grab there. Again, US version. Mips doesn't have like lightning boots on his feet, doesn't outrun you or anything. Pretty easy to grab him here as you're entering the basement. We'll see Puncayshun probably go for his first pillarless.
Let's see how this attempt goes and what setup he decides to use for it. Seems to ultimately... Okay, Thomas setup.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how that goes for him. And...
Oh, beautiful.
Very nice. Having a little bit of trouble with that clip, but nothing to complain about.
Oh, that was weird. The camera jumped up.
Yeah, almost getting that...
I thought he was going to fall.
Yeah, same here. It looked almost like Mario...
Oh, Heisen going for punch grab. Doesn't get it. Not too bad, though. He's going to be next to SSL here anyway.
Yeah, certainly, if you're gonna fail the rabbit, this is the way you're gonna want to fail it. And Punkay, okay, this is interesting. Punkay,
wow, flew up there. That was nuts.
And forfeiting Toxic Maze, that's interesting because you usually don't see him do this. Very,
Heisen
very
his first pillarless, and Heisen going for secrets after the first one, so definitely going to be going for another pillarless.
Yeah, Heisen just not liking that bomb whatsoever, and I'm just amazed Punkay is breaking with tradition. Punkay has been just a very vocal supporter of CCM17 Toxic Maze route, but going for that double pill, must have been feeling himself or something. But hey, I'll take it. This is the most optimal route for 70 star if you're not familiar. CCM17 with a double pillarless rather than having to do the Penguin star
pillarless. Yeah, you know, Punkay's really been putting in work and trying to PB lately, so it could be he saw that he's on a decent run now and wanted to seize the opportunity.
I mean, a race PB is certainly exciting, so here's hoping.
Tama upset that Punkay didn't die during pillarless. I kind of wanted the same thing right before the double jump. He was like in the quicksand. Oh, is this going to work for Heisen? I don't think so. Not quite making it. We'll see if he can jump over the pyramid here if he wants to go for that. No, he's just going to go over to the pillar here and wait for the Klepto to meet him.
You know, Klepto is named in Odyssey, but I don't believe that he's actually given a name in SM64. People just like calling him Talon, which is obviously inaccurate because it's saying that the Big Bird has talons, not that his name is Talon, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure when Klepto was given a name. I feel like I had seen the name before Odyssey came out, so I wonder if it was in a player's guide or some extracurricular reading material that Nintendo provided or something.
Certainly could be. Although, as many people in Twitch chat are probably going to point out, player's guides not exactly the greatest source for information ever.
That's true.
But, I mean, Klepto's an accurate name. He steals your hat. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's just kind of wondering when exactly the naming occurred. And I mean, he looks similar to the Odyssey bird. My question, though, is just if he's like a brother or a cousin or if it's the same bird.
That's a good question. Seems like it might be a little offending to assume that just because they look similar that they're, you know, related. They could just be the same species.
Oh, true. I mean, with all the drastically different species in Mario, and with Punkay's just superb lava boost here, just wow.
He's really pulling out all the stops here, and you can tell his. I don't know. I feel like he's doing more than his usual race strats. I think he's really going for a solid time here.
I think so too. I think he knows the type of lead that he has and has turned this kind of into a bit of a PB run. Or may just be trying to flex on Heisenberger with a low 48 or something. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
But I mean, his previous PB was also a race too, if I remember correctly. So could definitely see that being the case here. Beautiful rollout on that elevator star and just making that strat look easy, but it's certainly nothing but.
I did a very good job there. Heisen going to be fighting some plural bullies here.
Let's see how they decide to treat him today. If they decide
took him with him.
Very, very close to getting the bully glitch there. Fortunately, not actually getting it. Bully seems to have hit the lava a couple of frames earlier, but really, really close there. Definitely was the Monka S from his side, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, finishing up LLL here. So with this round, he's just still going to do HMC late, right? Because he'll have enough stars here.
He should be. I could see him still doing HMC early out of habit, but he does have the opportunity to do it late. Heisenberger with that second pole grab, going real safe there.
Yeah, we see a 2-star difference now between the runners. I'm trying to think of what Heisenberger has left in this stage. Definitely... Oh, okay. What's that?
Yeah, elevator star, not too much of a time waster, but I mean, giving Punkay a lead like this early on, certainly not the strat.
So I must have missed a differentiation in the routes because Heisenberger's finishing LLL with 29 stars here.
He was also doing the CCM17 route. He just didn't go for double pillarless.
Oh no, he did 2 pillarlesses.
But the first one was a fail, I thought.
No, I'm pretty sure he got the first one and did secrets, and then he did another one. Now he's going to HMC.
Because I thought that he actually threw away the bomb from the very first attempt.
I might have missed that. I just remember seeing him doing secrets in the pyramid, which would make me think he's definitely doing 2, because that's the slower start once you get inside.
You know, commentators may be watching a different race, but either way, Heisenberger's in HMC doing Toxic Maze. You know, I gotta wonder if the streams have actually been flipped, because traditionally this is Punkay's route. Excuse me.
We'll see.
You know, definitely gonna have to check in the back, see if everything's aligned properly, see if all the cables are going in the right places.
I don't know. The way this race has been playing out, if the gameplay on the right is Heisenberger's, then he's going nuts right now.
Yeah, the mad props to him. For sure. I'd be wondering if we didn't just accidentally intercept Tago's stream or something. And Punkay going for front sub here. He's definitely going for some sort of just bonkers time at the moment.
Yeah, he's really pulling out all the stops here. We'll see what he ends up getting.
He really wilding out. And
beautiful. Right side on the front.
Getting that right side even saves a few extra lag frames, right?
I'm not sure how much it saves, but it's definitely faster. But it's a lot harder to time because you're going to have to fit under the fence there. The grate.
I mean, certainly, I think I've seen Aki go for the same route on top of the sub, and it's just so impressive to see.
All right, everybody is losing their minds over me talking about Heisen doing 2 pillarlesses, so I must have missed that.
Yeah, people claiming that Cocom drunk on stream, other sort of just heinous claims.
Got question marks going in every different direction from what I said. So,
I mean, Mario, if it's a 200 IQ game to play, it's certainly a 300 IQ game to commentate. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm only like 299 or something. So.
Yeah, I mean, I only scored slightly higher than a potato, so I don't know what I'm doing here.
We'll see how this fire sea treats puncayshun. Missing a coin is not gonna, pretty unlikely to make the cycle here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, early cycle is still definitely on the table, but aside
Really?
from some sort of just ridiculous miracle, he is certainly not on path for lava boost.
Yeah, no way for lava boost, but can you even get a cycle missing that coin?
Oh yeah, the standard early cycle is relatively lenient in 70 star.
Oh yeah, he's there. Okay. Yeah, beautiful.
Not even having to do a dive to actually get up there.
Yeah.
But more than likely we'll have to deal with a bad ending. And no, actually going to be getting a good ending.
Yeah.
So a decent fire sea, yeah, really not giving Heisenberger any opportunity to regain time. He's really only missed one cycle on the ending there. So that's probably a good 5 seconds maybe. And that's certainly not.
They both have 34 stars, so it's tied in my book. Heisenberger's actually at 35 here, so.
I mean, Heisenberger definitely taking a early lead according to the COCOM standard, which I don't have the facts to disagree with. I mean, I certainly don't have a book right in front of me to be able to refute these claims, so I'm going to have to agree with them.
Heisen making his way into dire dots.
Okay, with that just beautiful Bowser fight. It's really unfortunate when you see people going for the half spin and ending up missing Bowser entirely, like throwing him past the bomb.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. I think that throw in the second Bowser is like probably one of the hardest ones to make. It's just kind of wonky compared to all the others. All right. Okay, making his way upstairs and into Wet Dry World. We'll probably see him go for 100 first. That's what I'm usually used to seeing. Oh, no, he's not. Looks like he's gonna go for the triple jump wall kick here. Gets it. Gets the elevator. He's just got a wall kick up.
Yeah, and these wall kicks we've seen give a fair number of people trouble, but Punkay making it look easy as is tradition for him.
That last one even lined up in a way that he kind of kept his momentum into the star. That was really good.
Yeah, those are the sort of little optimizations that you'd really only see on a runner that is at Punkay's level. The little things that won't save you even a full second, but over the course of a run will ultimately add up.
Yeah, absolutely. He gets the second triple jump wall kick as well. Meanwhile, Heisenberger grabbing that sub from the rear. And then he's going to make his way into Fire Sea here soon. But not yet. Well, probably not yet.
Punkay going ahead into the teleporter star for Wet Dry World.
It's certainly saw Heisen miss his first swim there. These rings are looking fine though. Okay. Sometimes if you miss the first swim, like right at the beginning of that star, it's a little tough to hit the rings properly, but he was good.
Yeah, and those rings, honestly, their hitboxes first off are a bit deceiving. And if you miss just one, it's such a huge time loss for what should be a pretty simple star.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the double box break that Punkay just got there. If you do a kick at the right angle, the one kick will break 2 boxes and get you 6 points.
Oh, but getting bopped by that spider,
yeah.
Able to take advantage of those iframes at least, but he's missed his 1 coin for this 100 coin route.
Heisen's taken a lot of lava damage at the beginning of this Fire Sea, so he's going to have some troubles here. Missing that coin, I think the cycle's done for him here, if it wasn't already. Oh, and sliding. Should be fine though. Breakdancing on the elevator. Killing time.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the few opportunities Punkay gave him to gain any sort of time on him and just losing even more.
Yeah.
Although Punkay certainly not out of the woods yet. He's going to be going into THI and then TTM. Which,
Yeah, a lot
as
of
we
things
see,
can go wrong in Tippy there. Heisen taking more damage. Made it to the heart, though. Can heal up. Oh, he's going up? Okay, I like it. And then around.
ooh, but
then,
not
and
getting
then down.
quite
Okay.
enough of an angle.
Giving us a tour of the elevator section of Fire Sea here.
You know, something that a lot of people may not have the best experience with, you know, that they were just trying to get out of there casually, but Heisenberger's showing off what must be one of his favorite areas in the game.
I know that triple jump that he did, if done correctly in that situation, can be faster. I don't know that he made it faster, but he knows. He had some knowledge there that he showed off.
Punkay with beautiful secrets. I mean, that's really the primary point in THI that you'd be able to lose time like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the rest of the stage is pretty smooth sailing here. See, this probably does the mountain clip here on this star. That can sometimes give you troubles, but not if you're puncayshun. All right, Heisen following upstairs now. Yeah, so our star counts are a little bit closer to what they are actually going to be, but we're still going to see another divergence in the route here as Punkay will make his way back down to HMC later in the run after SL.
But first, got to bop these piranha plants and then make his way up to the top of that mountain.
Heisen getting the double box break as well.
Yeah, let's see if he's getting bought by that skeeter, though.
See if he just copies everything puncayshun does here. No, goes for him first, gets him out of the way.
You know, not the best RNG with him, but I mean, better than what you could ultimately hope for in many runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Better than him like leaving the area and going into the pushable box here.
Then the coin RNG not exactly working in Heisenberger's favor there, which you really got to wonder why Nintendo found it necessary to make the coin spawning areas RNG dependent.
Makes it more fun. That's what randomness always does, right?
Yeah, of course. Just like a Dampe and Hundo runs.
Exactly. Beautiful breezeless for puncayshun.
Breezeless is free. Quote of the year from Puncayshun. And I mean, he's got the actual performance to back it up. That's really the thing. Oh no, Heisenberger a coin short.
He's gonna go for the there's a 3-coin box right here. Yep. That's probably the best ones to go for in this situation. There was some more like below where the Chuckya was, or like jumping down after the Chuckya. I think this is ultimately the best thing to do in that situation.
And meanwhile, chat making fun of commentator for accidentally demoing his keyboard in Tago's chat earlier. I changed keyboards today and went to type the test phrase, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and I accidentally actually put it in his chat.
Oh.
So, yeah, shout outs to Elite Moral Minority. Not sure exactly how to say that name, apparently. While Punkay is making quick work of this top of the mountain star, shout outs to him for referencing a very niche meme.
All right, Heisenberger getting the elevator star. We saw him do the old round the back way, no triple jump on that star. Not very much slower, and a lot less risky. Makes the star pretty free.
Let's see how this triple box jump goes for Punkay.
Looking good, beautiful.
I mean, for someone who claims that Breezeless is free, he better be able to get that every time.
Yeah, I hope so. Seeing how Reds is going to treat Puncayshun. Pretty tough star to do optimally and do all the lag reductions on. Not quite getting that jump. See if he can turn it out.
Yeah, the introduction was just beautiful. Both sections beautiful, just the transition between them not quite going his
Yeah, just
way.
that one little jump, but he was able to navigate the, I don't know what that area is called. It's in the star name. Oh, it's not. Scary Shrooms are the other part. Anyways, Heisenberger making his way into THI. Puncayshun into SL. Puncayshun almost ready to go back down to HMC.
Yeah, I really wonder if
Oh,
Punkay's HMC is actually going to come before Heisenberger's even able to get himself into SL.
Goomba sabotaging Heisenberger's secrets there, but he kind of navigated around the mountain pretty well after it, and then kind of had a little bit of a slip up again on his way up. Looking good
And
here, though.
yeah, and even though that Goomba, or any Goomba in this stage, doesn't actually damage you as Big Mario, it still does cost you a bunch of time just from the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially on the island there when you're doing that kind of movement, getting bonked and having to like get back up and be slow again while the stage is lagging and running at half speed is not a good situation to be in.
So let's see how Punkay manages to handle the very ending of this stage. And a very nice iceberg strat there.
Just gonna fight off the bully here.
And he's going to be making his way back down to the haziest, the maziest cave around.
Yeah, Punkay's got some castle movement to do here, but definitely starting to show the star lead between the two players.
Yeah, and I mean that's really the deal is even though it looks kind of like Heisenberger had an earlier lead just due to doing HMC early, actually going through the rest of upstairs, the stars are not that much longer than HMCs, and as long as you're maintaining your lead, the apparent lead actually disappears pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heisenberger just now entering that Tall Tom Mountain. It's definitely do or die time for him. If he doesn't do well here, Punkay not leaving him really any room to mess up.
Yeah, HMC, I mean, things can go wrong here, but they're usually pretty insane and make the highlight reel, so it's generally a pretty safe stage in 70 star.
Yeah, and your bigger time losses, or sorry, your bigger mistakes here are honestly minor time losses. Like failing triple box jump, for instance, that's not going to lose you more than like 5 seconds, if that.
Right. Going for Christmas Miracle here. Looks like he tried to hop up and just had a bad angle and didn't wall kick earlier, but barely lost any time by just converting it into the star. Hirakusia says Punkay at 47 pace, he thinks. That's pretty nuts considering he didn't do, as I mentioned earlier, he didn't do Island Hop and he didn't do Lava Boost early Ellie's. Still got early Ellie's, but even just not doing Island Hop and popping out on a 47 would be pretty insane.
Yeah, and I believe his PB is a low 48, so would certainly be insane.
It's 48.20 on the leaderboards. He claims to have gotten a 48.08, I think, in a GSA race, but he deleted the recording, so you know what they say.
Yep, and especially with a game as big as SM64, really can't claim any sort of time without a recording of some kind, but Punkay in a pretty good position to be able to get a new recording today.
Yeah.
And Tama saying what really the rest of us are thinking, having 3 47s on the leaderboard this year would be pretty hype.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. It was nuts seeing the first 48, let alone first 47 and now multiple 47s. It's come a long way.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been optimized to just a ridiculous degree. Thinking of, especially Punkay being in the Rolling Rock stage kind of channels thoughts of the watch for Rolling Rocks and half an A press. I mean, there's just been so many people that have put a lot of effort into either optimizing this game RTA or tasks especially, and just really making it go as fast as it possibly can. And it's such a beautiful game to do it with because of how fluid the mechanics can be, but also how broken the game can be fundamentally.
Yeah, absolutely. I love people cracking open and learning how every little thing works, and the knowledge that people develop with this game always amazes me.
And Punkay going into Rainbow Ride just as Heisenberger's having trouble with the snowman's head strat.
Is this gonna work? Oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, weirdest camera angle I've
so
ever seen
weird.
on that star. That
completely,
is
completely blind wall kick. That was cool.
I can't believe that worked either. Like just honestly.
Yeah, I didn't even think you could like work that out if you were kicking up there.
Punkay, meanwhile, with a first try at Lakitu bounce, so I mean, Heisenberger's got his work cut out for him. That is for sure. Now, after he leaves the stage, he's able to go into Tippy, but Punkay's got a good 3-star lead at the moment, it looks like. Maybe 4 stars. Yeah, because Heisenberger having to go for these red coins after skipping out on HMC or HMC late.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that some people, myself included, a number of times don't realize is that if you don't go for HMC late, you do have to still incorporate another star into your routing, just because you don't get that MIP second star.
Yeah, generally, and usually it's going to be this one or it'll be THI Reds. Is another one I've seen.
And Cheese throwing some major shade in the chat, saying he always knew that Punkay was on the right due to very bad gameplay. Interesting to see how this strat plays out, but Punkay taking a death in Rainbow Ride. Oh boy, that pretty well kills any hope of if Punkay was trying to PB with this run.
That is rough.
And on Swinging the Breeze too, just an unforgiving star we've seen cost so many runs. But able to get it this time around. So only wasting a good 15 or less seconds, but yeah, and Para pointing out that he was on 47.4 X pace, so could still maybe in a very, very interesting situation be a 47.59, but we're very likely looking at a low 48 at best at the moment.
Yeah. Maybe still a leaderboard PB. I don't know. Still a nuts run though for a race, especially.
Oh yeah, I mean, just thinking back to how the earlier parts of this race went, and especially with how Punkay normally plays races, it's really odd to have seen him go for all of these strats.
Yeah. He wants the PB. That's what we can tell.
That's certainly what it looks like. Wants his PB to be in a GSA race again, but be able to actually save the recording of it. And going for Toad first here.
Yeah, I think Toad later saves a time I heard a long time ago. It saves 1 second. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it's a pretty small. It comes down to like your preference and how you do the movement to and from TPC. Uh-oh. Is this gonna work for... Okay. Man, I feel like Heisenberger almost could have saved that Lactus bounce. Now he's just gonna go for reds. Okay, doing 100 coin though. And the clock. Ooh. Kind of a wonky reds there for Heisenberger, but closing it out without anything too wild happening.
Yeah, meanwhile, Heisen going ahead and starting out his Rainbow Ride, but Punkay midway through TGC 100, not giving him any room to breathe whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. Gave him the death, but that might be all we see.
And I'm thinking it will be, aside from maybe more bad RNG like that, but it's very little opportunity for that to happen. No more coin collecting for Punkay, so that's one major source of RNG out of the way. Getting to the top of that thwomp very nicely, especially with that dive right on the end there.
Yeah, the coins did some unfriendly things to him there at the end of 100, but he was able to work with it.
Oh, apparently Punkay getting a 48.08.
Oh, Heisen
last
taking the
night.
death. Oh, you got one last night. My bad. Heisen and bonking outside of Rainbow Ride and punching. Get in there. Okay.
Yeah, it's certainly a little bit of a Mario meltdown for Heisenberger, but I mean, you can't blame him taking a death so late in this race and with so big of a deficit. Cannot feel good. Going for this left side routing on tricky triangles seems to be working out for him though.
Definitely. Did both players die on tricky triangles?
Punkay's death was on the Swing in the Breeze, if I remember right.
Okay. I just saw them both go for tricky triangles after they died. Swing in the Breeze looking good for Heisen. Dodges the flame.
And
Just the star.
really close dive there too, and Punkay grabbing, get a hand, barely even needing that hand though to grab the star. And he's 2 stars away from getting into the Bowser fight. So I think that death pretty well cost him a PB. Certainly gonna have to ask him about his strategy in the interview though, as far as if he was going for PB or something, because that very interesting to see him going for some of the strats he did in this run.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious to know. Oh, good firstie there, flying into that cage instead of rolling in. Heisen halfway through TTC 100 here, but Punkay's almost done. Just gonna grab some red coins and get out of here.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's hard to designate a specific point in the run that Heisenberger lost a huge amount of time to Punkay.
Oh no! Oh,
Except
wow.
for right here. Wow. Taking a huge fall.
Oh, that was so close. He was standing somewhere safe for like 1 frame, and then he moved. All right, healing up or something. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he is healing up. Doesn't want to risk dying.
And you know, I don't think I've ever seen a heart only heal 2 wedges like that. That's some precision slapping.
Like walk through it. Yeah.
And Punkay on pace for a 48-15 at best, give or take. Let's see how he handles bits. Could certainly be better than his leaderboard PB.
Yeah, sounds like he got a better time last night. He just needs to submit it. So, but a low 48. You know,
in a race? I mean, being 7 seconds off your PB in a race, that's something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just pretty unfortunate that he took that death in Rainbow Ride, because we could be looking at pure PB material right now, if not.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll see how his throws treat him. There's one.
Yep, first one's good. And after a little while, you kind of get used to the enormous hitboxes on these bombs, but 2 hits in, it could still be a little bit iffy.
Not even fair. Not even a fair fight.
Not at all. Just, wow. Really brings home that, you ever seen the animated speedrun?
Heisen again? Oh no! He ledge grabs on the
with a huge death as Punkay takes a 48-10 in this race.
That is nuts.
Just a disgusting time for a race. Wow. What is that? 48 seconds off world record, 2 seconds off of his alleged PB. Which I don't even know why I'm saying alleged. It's of course alleged. I'm a bit surprised Punkay doesn't have a 47 by now. But a 48.08 is certainly nothing to scoff at.
He's on track to get it. It's got to be soon.
Yeah, with how just demanding this game can be in how much you have to grind it to get a good PB, certainly going to come sooner rather than later for Puncayshun. Let's see if we can get these guys in for an interview, though.
I think we'll have them soon here. Right as Heisen finishes, we'll get both players in here.
What a run from
missing the triple jump. Yeah, that was nuts. If I'm in Heisen's shoes, I'm not feeling that bad. Like, you know that you have a chance if something goes wrong, but if Punkay just like pops out a run like that, you can't even really feel bad. Paracusia guessing the end time. Maybe we gave him access to the script by mistake. Didn't check our Google Doc permissions.
I mean, who are you fooling? We've got the standard pen and paper scripts here. So Paracusia obviously coming all the way from Australia to America just to steal a copy of a script used one time in one race. Let's see, Heisenberger having a bit of an issue with those first side flips, but ending up going decently okay. Meanwhile, Punkay getting that nose kiss from Peach. Certainly gotta wonder why Mario's nose is so big. I feel like until just now, my mind has always understated the size of his nose. I mean, geez, it's huge.
It's a unit for sure.
Massive unit.
Alright, Heisen talking to Toad, getting his 70th star, and then gonna launch himself up the stairs here.
And of course, Punkay's first question is actually what time D whatever got. I think he's looking to have gotten a race record. Pretty wild to see. I mean, I wouldn't put anything less past Puncayshun, but still pretty wild to go. Heisenberger
falling
with that
down.
field triple jump there. That looked bad from the moment he started the single jump. It looked like he was left.
You see that bonus cheat prevention there? He was mashing the R button as he was falling. Really shows it's the real room.
Yeah, I mean, as cheeky as it may be to say, I don't think we need proof that Heisenberger's run was real.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see how he's able to handle the rest of Dark World, though, after that first death. Interesting camera angles here. Can't say I've seen those two too often.
Yeah, those. Oh, what is he doing? Oh no, falling back down.
And he should have just taken the wall kick over to the opposite platform. Not sure why he was trying to do the wall kick same grab.
It's always hard to tell if you have enough height, and then by the time you realize you don't, it's too late. Right, just gonna take us the slow way. This is fine.
Certainly not much slower. And especially
not.
When you're talking about in context of this run, especially, definitely not a bad way to cap it off. And it's certainly unfortunate that Heisenberger had just so much time loss, because he could have definitely pulled some points out of here for the league, but with Punkay going on as wild of a run as he did, I'm not sure Heisenberger was ever really in the running for a huge amount of points.
And I don't mean to, downplay Heisenberg too much. Like, he's still a clear D1 competitor, but Punkay did something else tonight.
Right. I mean, you have your D2 players, you have your D1 players, and then you almost have a D1 plus in a way. And Punkay would certainly be a member of that D1 plus.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, just absolute nutty performance.
Listen to throw there. Yeah, and it's tough to say, because, I mean, you can have players with Punkay's PB that still will get a 52 or a 53 in a race, but sometimes they just pull out something like this, and there's
no competing against that at a point.
All right, 53-33 for Heisenberger.
And Punkay revealing revealing in chat just before the interview, he's revealing that he started watching anime and then started getting really good race times.
Wonderful.
And we've got both of these guys in this call now. GG's to both of you. Punkay, the question on everyone's minds, what was going on in that run? Why were you just wilding out with those strats?
I don't know. I'm just like, I've just been playing really well, and I've just been really consistent. That Fire Sea mistake that I made where I just missed a coin in like the cage area, that's happened so many times recently, and like I spent a few minutes on it before this race, and I didn't miss a red coin once. So that was like,
again here.
Yeah, it was like really annoying to see that happen because you can't get lava boost early at least after that. So it's like probably left like 10 seconds to that, and I keep on screwing up the swinging and the breeze star. Like it's even both of these things are like happening in runs too.
Interesting.
So kind of annoying to see both of those things happen once again. But hopefully, if I just spend more time on them, then it'll stop happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a pain to have stuff like that happen in a race, but still pulling a 48 and a 48-10 at that in the middle of a race. I mean, that must be something to still be proud of. But Heisenberger, how are you feeling after that race? Definitely kind of a rough tippy, but otherwise a pretty solid performance.
Yeah, so I've been trying to just have a decent start for like the last last two races, and this time I finally did it. So I felt pretty good about my start. It started getting shaky at, I think, Fire Sea. Upstairs was kind of sloppy. Tippy was really bad. But holy crap, Punkay with the 48-10. I had no idea what I was up against. So just seeing that now, it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, certainly just a wild run. And I mean, Punkay, if you had to choose a particular moment where you think you were just playing out of your mind, what would it be?
I would say like, I would say before Fire Sea. I had like a really good run before Fire Sea, and like it was still good after Fire Sea. Don't get me wrong, but just before that, it was like pretty sick. Like my pace that I had going was probably like really identical paces to what I've been getting in my actual runs. Nice. And you know, doing that in the race, especially without Island Top, which is like the automatic 5 seconds or so lost. Like I played really well, and I got like double Tama Pillarless and SSL and all that. I just wasn't like making any big mistakes whatsoever, just like really minor ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly showed both on the timer and just on the gameplay we were seeing, just absolute top level. So, I mean, GG's to both of you guys. Mini Corey, do you have any other questions for our guys here?
That's all I got. It was an absolute blast to watch, though. It was very fun.
Yeah, just stellar race. Punkay, gotta be, I think, the first time I've ever seen you rock that non-toxic maze route in a race. So definitely a sight to see. We were kind of joking in the booth about the streams getting swapped since Heisenberger went for that route. So
I very recently started doing that route. Like I'm playing on English version 2, which stays with me like 2 to 3 seconds. And
yeah, I noticed that deciding to go with the optimal version for races now.
Yeah, the reason I didn't really play on English before is because I did have an English cartridge, but I bought it from some guy named Sam City, and it has this random like red stuff on it, and I feel like it's like a cursed item and bad luck, so I didn't want to play on it. But I got like a different cartridge that came with like Yoshi's Story, and I've been doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, maybe that's the secret to Mario World Records.
Yeah, you gotta find a cart that just gives you that good luck. Each cart infused with its own luck seed, just like the RNG seed, but for real life. So just gotta find the one that worked for you. And Punkay, it certainly seems that you found that one. Well, GG's to both of our guys once more, and thanks to all our viewers at home watching. Mini Corey, it's been a pleasure coming with you. And
yeah, absolutely. I gotta remind people too, there's an event happening in a few months now called Pace. It's going to be in the Eastern United States. ! Tickets in the chat. You can get more info on that. Should be pretty sweet to see a live GSA event. I think it'll be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll certainly be there, and I hope to see as many of you there as possible. And with that, again, thanks for watching, and have a good night, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow.